everyone, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am here for a process video that I did during National Scrapbooking Day, and it was a challenge over on the scrapgals to do some watercoloring, and I also combined it with a challenge over on Spiegel Mom Scrap, where we were to do a challenge called Make It Match, Make It Splash, and this was the very first challenge hosted by Spiegel Mom Scraps. And so the goal was to take the colors in your photograph and make those match with the sequence and the colors that you use for your layout. So I'm just kind of combining the two of them together because I'm part of the Spiegel Mom Scraps design team. I, for the most part, I wanted to support all the other girls, so I just combine them with other challenges throughout the Facebook, because I'm never going to qualify to enter into Spiegel Mom Scraps giveaways and stuff. The whole point is not to do that. It's just to help inspire and support the other design team members. So that is why you will see a lot of these layouts have a combination of challenges, because I combined a challenge that I'm submitting to with a challenge from the design team. So there you can see I've done my watercolors, used the three colors, some pinks and blues and yellows, and now I'm going to use this sticker sheet, and it has been in my stash for a while and I just never touched it, and I decided today was the day I was going to finally use a few pieces. So I taped down, well, placed down the first one, and that triangular one is going to house my photos, and then I used this awesome branding strip just because it kind of helped tie in all the colors, especially with the yellow. I needed yellow down there to kind of help pop everything. And now I'm going to decide which photo I want to use. I had a couple options that I thought would work really well, but in the end, I'm going to go with that one right there. I love the colors. They all worked, but that one really worked well. And I'm going to title this, He Loves Her. And I'm going to use a heart in place of the word love. Trying to decide exactly where I want this title, it took me a little bit of time. I was thinking maybe off onto the side and diagonal, and I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to go. I even tried to place it down at the bottom so that it would bring your eye down to the bottom. But in the end, it's going to go above the photo, and I love the way that it looks. And as you can see, I used a B and turned it into an E. And in the end, you're actually going to find when I'm decorating and putting all my embellishments down, I had one of the words most from the, I believe it was the Fancy Freeze, so Paige Evans' very first line, and I just had this random word that said most, and I'm going to just place that, and so my title, instead of He Loves Her, is going to say He Loves Her Most. So I really loved my title. I thought it was pretty clever. And now I'm just going to do some layering, and I'm just trying to bring in a few pops of color. I really loved how this photo looked backed on yellow. I thought it worked really well. Kind of neat looking, having again a big pop, and then especially considering the photo's a little muted other than my daughter's outfit. It's a pretty muted photo, but it still needs something else. So I'm going to look through my scrap bin, which you see right here, and I'm looking for a pink. Something that's going to help kind of, again, pop the photo off the layout so that your eye goes straight to the photo instead of kind of everywhere else, because even though it's going to be more of a simplistic layout, it's still quite busy even with the little bit that I do. So I found this piece just in my scrap bin, and I liked the angle that I was there. I'm going to trim it a little bit because I don't need that much of it, but I really love the angle it created, and it's something that was just there. That's one thing I really like about using scraps when I'm creating, is that sometimes you have to work with what you have, but it can create a really neat dimension and texture to your layout, being able to use what you have there. It is a little bit longer than I want, so I'm going to trim it a little bit at the top so that it's not quite so much. I didn't need that much pink, so you can see I'm trimming it there just a little bit. And now I'm just going to try and figure, I don't want them all lined up perfectly, so I'm going to kind of angle everything a little bit and kind of move on to the next step, because I'm not sure what else I want to do. I am looking and thought maybe the sticker would work well, but I don't want to add orange into this layout. I've already got my main colors. I didn't want to add another one. So I just trimmed the orange flower off, and I'm going to place that floral just right there and then build a cluster kind of around that. I was pretty pleased with myself that I used as many stickers from the sticker sheet as I did, because like I said, I've had it for a long time and have barely touched it, so I need to get it used up. I'm dying to use that fox, I just don't know how to yet. So now I'm going to go through all of my stuff and try and figure out what else I want to add here. I'm still looking through this sticker sheet, and I'm going to pull off the yellow that you can see, and I'm just going to place that down at the bottom, and that's going to be another cluster area for me. And I'm going to trim it so it turned itself into a banner instead of an arrow. I don't really like those arrows the way they look. I don't know, it's just not for me, so I just turned it into a banner, which was more my style. And there's that strange, just random word that I had left over. I don't know why I didn't use it, but it works well there, and it brings in some more blue, which is nice. And then I am kind of auditioning these birds to go down there. I knew I wanted something a little bit bigger and kind of playful down at the bottom, because it's about my kids, so it can be really playful, but they just weren't right. They were too dark. That I didn't want to bring in a whole lot of navy. I know there's a little bit within the stickers, but I didn't really want to bring a bunch of it out. So instead, I am taking these little birds that are from the Maggie Holmes, I believe it's the Gather collection, and I love the way they look. So I'm going to place one on top of the yellow sticker where I'm going to put my date, and then the other one's going to go down onto the border strip. So they're kind of on top of each other, which is how it looked on the chipboard sheet, and I liked the way that it looked. So I just very much mimicked how it looked on the original chipboard sheet to begin with. I also grabbed this little heart. I'm just going to trim it into the shape of a heart. I didn't want a bunch of that teal. It's kind of the wrong teal than the color I use, so I just trimmed it a little bit, and I'm placing that right there. So there's, again, just more stuff in between the layers. I wanted to make this quite clustered. I'm adding this So Lovely sticker because they are very lovely to me, and that added the little pop of blue that I wanted along with this little feather. And I'm putting the feather on the other side of the photo. I needed your eye to kind of swipe over the photo, and it wasn't doing that when I layered everything all on one side. So it's going to hop on over to the other side of the photo so that it does kind of help move your eye. And as you can see, I'm just randomly going through all of my sticker sheets. I don't care what the theme is for them. I'm just trying to find pieces that are going to match and go with my layouts. This is how I love to scrapbook. When I have all the time in the world and it doesn't matter what I'm doing, and that I don't really have an obligation for doing it, this is how I like to scrapbook. I like to mix my products, mix the collections, and just have a bunch of fun putting things together so that it really is unique and is something that says it's created by me. And so I had a lot of fun doing this layout because of that. I did try to use this Hello Today. It was the perfect shade of yellow. It does not make it on this layout because I just couldn't make it fit. I think if the paint stroke type look was facing the other way, so the skinnier part was to the right instead of to the left, I probably could have made it work on this layout, but that's okay. It will make it onto another layout on another day. So I am trying. You see me really trying to make this work. I just really like the color. I knew it would work well. So on to some other things. So now I've gotten all the stickers down. I need a little more dimension to my layout. So I did grab one of the XOs. You've seen this on a few of my layouts lately. I, again, am in the middle of a freeze, so I'm trying to use up my stash. And I really love these XOs, but I bought 2 packs of them, and I believe there were like at least 8 to a pack, so I have a bunch of them to use up. So I am trying to use them whenever I can, and this helped. I just found that it helped, and it's not super shiny gold, so it worked using it as the paper clip. And I am going to add a little bit of washi. I have a bunch of washi books that I hardly ever touch, and so the more washi I get onto a layout, the better. I do attempt to put this washi up at the top here. It is not going to live there. I don't even know if this piece actually even makes it onto the layout, if I remember correctly. What I was trying to do was add some black up there so that it tied in with the black that I had down at the bottom from that little sticker that says Melt My Heart. And so that was my intention, but I don't believe this little strip even makes it onto the layout. I believe I add some pink or some gold. I add gold. That's what I do. I end up switching it to a different sheet of a washi book and add gold at the top and make just kind of a fun little border, so there's a little bit more to it than just the little bit of watercolors that I had done, which was, again, the original part of this challenge for scrapgals was to create a layout using watercolors in some way. So while I'm kind of just randomly working, and my layout is a little bit off center and out of focus, and I apologize about that. I'm still trying to kind of get used to this new phone and where my layout's supposed to be. So I'm a little out of frame, but I wanted to mention, if you can see, I have already drawn my lines, and my journaling is just going to go right to the right of my photo, and it's just going to talk about how we weren't really sure how Jackson was going to react to Nora, and we were just kind of going with the flow, and whatever he was going to do, we were going to be okay with. But we really lucked out because he absolutely adores her and wants to hold her and help us and is really gentle with her. And so I just want to document how lucky we are that he's so great with her and just how much he truly loves his little sister. So that's what the journaling is about. And then you're going to see me just add my finishing touches, and that's my layout. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye.